Good morning, everybody. Uh-oh, hold on. Where are we? Hi, everybody. I'm Louise from Wildflower Wool. Welcome to the Fibre Friends podcast.
Hey, good morning, friends. I'm Cheryl from My Needle Crafts. Well, how's it going, Louise? Your day day three into babysitting?
Yes, it's going fantastic. I have to say, I was a little tired this morning. Scarlett got up before I did this morning. I was like, oh no, I have like 15 more minutes. Yeah. So, anyways, fingers crossed. We were all set up here with toys and books, and she's chewing on my tape measure right now. So,
Oh, well, there you go.
yeah. It's all good, right? So it's sweater knitting month. Oh, wait, I gotta find comments here. So, how's your sweater?
My sweater is good. Not as
Is
good
it?
as your sweater, but you know.
I'm happy with my sweater. I'm really happy with my sweater. Um, there we go. If I can
Good morning. So I
find Look at you go.
really like it.
It looks great.
So I am finding as I'm knitting this yarn, I think I just love it more and more. Can you see how tonal that is? It
Mm,
is not all just
it does look
like
tonal. I
green.
thought
It's like
right
oatmeal sort of. It's
with
two-tone.
a cream color.
It's like beigey oatmeal,
I like it.
but it's very tonal.
That looks great.
I am loving it. So
Now,
yeah, I'll split for the sleeves, and I'm like that for on the body.
good,
But you
good.
know, it is DK and it takes a while. But yeah, I'm loving this detail I did on the increases for the Reglans. I
It,
love how it just comes down from the neckband.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, I did the short rows so the back is just slightly taller.
looks so good.
And I got my little snowman. I think these came from Marg at Christmas.
They're so cute.
Mimi.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
Um,
And I got my sleeves on some pony cord.
okay, yep. Oh, that's a good holder for sure.
Yeah. So that's it.
That
My
is amazing.
So, in case you don't know, I got this vintage yarn from the 80s at the grandmother sale in the summer, in the spring, in the fall. I don't know, sometime
I know.
earlier, like last year. Do I have to hit OK? I guess I got to hit OK. At the top, it said this video is live streaming. OK
Oh,
or cancel. Um, the Sardar yarn, I got like 12 50-gram balls of it. And, you know, it's 47 acrylic, 45 acrylic, 40 nylon, 15 wool, but it is really soft. There's nothing like it does not feel like your 80s yarn.
that's amazing. I just want
What?
every time you say it's soft, I'm like my first instinct is to reach out and touch it. It's like it's right there.
So, yeah, anyways, I'm really liking it. The pattern that I'm using is find the front of it. It's called The Classic by Spaster Co. It's a
Yeah.
DK. Of course, their picture is a dark gray um, sweater. Anyway, it's got a little split hem, just a simple raglan sweater. I did not make my neck as tall as theirs. So I am using this as a base for anybody who hasn't been around and seen me talk about this yet. I'm using that as sort of my what do you want to call it? My
Like
blueprint,
your guide. Yeah.
my guide, because this is what I want my sweater to look like when it's finished. I saw this on an ad on Etsy, or not on Etsy, sorry, on Facebook. It was just one of those ads, when you go scrolling through and you see it and you can buy it, and
Yeah.
it says,
I'm just
it
gonna
comes
make
from the US, but it's probably made somewhere, in
and
East Asia somewhere.
like every knitter, you're like, I don't need to buy that because I can just make it myself.
Well, I had the yarn and everything, and I'm like, so perfect. So
Right.
I can make that.
You can do it.
So I'm doing it. And
Good.
I think I'm right on so far. So I just trying to decide how far to go down in the body to start
It almost looks like it's elbow.
my ribbing.
Is it like
Yeah, I'm gonna
elbow?
think I'm gonna try it about 4 inches, and I'll put it on and see if I'm at a good spot. I definitely want it below my bust line. But
Yeah.
my bust line is going to be way lower than that young girl's bust line. So we'll see.
Well, it's looking fantastic. Now,
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I like it.
there on Thursday when I was at Knitting Club at Sherwood Forest Mall, Carol popped over and she showed me two sweaters that she has finished. And now I don't know, I didn't ask, I think she started them in January. So two cute sweaters, and one of them had, it reminded me of your sweater because it had the fancy raglan increases, but hers carried all the way down the body of the sweater.
So I thought about doing that. I honestly did. But
Yeah,
then I was worried that if I carried those down the side of the body, that when it came to the time to do the ribbing around, that those sections wouldn't meet up naturally with the ribbing of the body.
right. But you could fudge it, couldn't you, at the end, like increase or decrease
Well,
or
I
two?
could, but I would need to know early on, right? So, and I didn't honestly feel like figuring it out.
That's
Did
fair.
she steal your yarn?
Yes, can you see there's all of a sudden some tension on here? What do you have? Well, she's happy. Okay. Uh-oh. This
It
is a
doesn't get your sweater done. You're going to
no.
end up having to retie that or something,
Oh, okay. Weigh the options. Get your sweater knit or have a happy baby.
or give her a different ball of yarn to play with.
Give her something different. I know. Let's go. You want this one? Yeah, how about this one? So anyway, well that is there's something to be said for we're having yawns. Yeah, is there sometimes you just don't want to have to think, right? You just want to knit something super simple. I swear I just heard her say baby. And this is what she opened up her book to.
Maybe.
Baby. Babies? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I get that. Just you don't want to use that brain power, do you? So I'm locked out of comments again. So I'm just gonna take a look on my phone at comments. So okay, look at this. I think Bernadette, that's so excited. I think Bernadette got the she missed the memo that it was a 2-week sweater challenge. She got her sweater done in a week.
Wow.
She said here, good morning. And she's in capital letters because she's so excited. I finished my 2-week sweater. Yay. There's some people that are going super, super fast because last night when Jocelyn and I were chatting, Jen said she had taken a break on her sweater. And
Mm-hmm.
Nikki also said she was taking a break.
What do you got?
Oh, how do you mute this thing? There, that's how I mute it.
I didn't even hear it.
Oh, you
Oh,
can't,
there you
you
go.
didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it. I think it must have, the noise canceling must have cut it out.
Okay, then I'll let her keep playing with it. Yeah, if you can hear it, just let me know. Yeah, so Nikki took a break on her crocheted sweater because she just has like the shawl collar to do. So she's just like, oh, I'll take a break and I'm gonna knit a hat. I'm like, what?
Okay, so Bernadette is admitting 6.5 millimeter needles and bulky yarn.
That's okay. That's still in a week. That's amazing. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I just want to for a sec say thanks everybody about my sweater. Everybody's giving me such lovely comments.
Oh, that's
I'm really stoked. I'm loving it. So, oh, Marianne's in Cabo.
oh my
I
God.
saw your pictures.
Oh, I'll have to go look at them. So it's like we're at the pool with her, are we?
Yes, it's St. Lucius, Mexico.
Oh,
Woohoo!
yeah. Oh, Carol's in the comments. Carol said,
She
oh,
is.
yeah, Carol said you could fudge it, Cheryl, for like the
I
ribbon.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could, but quite
She
honestly,
she suggests doing the adjustments under the arm,
yeah,
which of course would be the perfect spot because nobody's gonna see that.
no, I'm a little bit there already.
Next one. Next one.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
It looks beautiful the way it is.
I don't intend to walk around with my arms up like this anyway for anybody to see it. And quite honestly, like, so if it was going to be that the ribbing would just be at the very bottom of the sweater, I would seriously consider it. But for only a section that's like 4 inches long under my armpit, nobody's ever going to see it anyway. So,
that oh, well, and that's true because yours is actually, yeah.
yeah. Tammy says, had a Vogue sweater 8 inches started, figured out I was one stitch off pattern after ignoring the sweater since Thanksgiving. Oh, so you ripped it.
Well,
Bummer. Well, you know what? If it's, I'm all about ripping out if I don't like it or if it's not right or whatever. I have no problems with pulling it out.
mhm.
Ignore my hair. Oh my God, it looks, look at the bangs I got going on now. It's growing out, people. Seriously, it's growing out, but you know, there are growing pains. I hate that I have to look at myself. Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was trying to keep Scarlett. She's happy, but she's babbling.
Oh, that's
So
all right. Oh, she tired. Oh, that is the biggest.
time
Okay,
for
we
a
need a
morning
bottle,
nap.
man.
Time for a morning nap. Yeah. Yeah.
She's fighting it. She's like,
Oh,
nope, I'm gonna stay busy.
I know. Must be just be too much excitement at Grandma's house. Anita says she never has a morning nap anymore, and every time she's here, she naps. So
Well,
either
she was probably up much later than usual too. So
she was because we were having fun. Yeah.
she is like, I'm not tired. I'm not gonna nap. It's not happening. Oh, that's good, Cindy. Back at her. Good job. Good
That's
job.
right, because Cindy pulled hers out, and last night it was in timeout because she was angry at it. So that's all right. That
Well,
happened.
I'm just round and around and around. So I sit down and knit, 2 or 3 rows, and then I have to put it down and do something else for a bit because I can't just knit on it for hours on end. My hands get sore.
Yeah, I did that last weekend. So
Yeah.
I
Your sweater looks so good.
oh, look, this is mine.
I love it.
I love how the colors are striping up.
Okay, you bought this yarn
The
at
thoughtful.
Anne's shop, the
Yeah,
Thoughtful Artisan.
yeah,
I seriously have to go there.
you do.
Like you bought 2 balls, right?
I bought 2 balls. Yeah,
And not like I like, calling you out or anything, but like how much were those balls of yarn each?
$40.
They were 40 each.
Yeah, 40 each.
Yeah. Like beautiful.
Yep. I know. I love it. And so this is
And
how much,
it's classified as an Aran weight, right? Probably because of the fuzz factor.
yeah. And it's It's definitely thicker. Can you hear this music?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Um, it's definitely thicker than the Shiva yarn that I had because it was classified as Aran as well, but it
Yeah,
was a lot thinner. This is a
yeah.
little thicker. I don't know. I think it's still really stretching it to say that it's Aran, but I am knitting it on a 5 mm needle because I wanted it really loose and drapey.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And what does the pattern call for? Are you like knitting it according to the pattern?
I am. I am.
So you did a gauge swatch, picked your needles, and then picked the size according to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's knitting up great. So I'm just
And
following.
how is your gauge compared to that of the sweater gauge, like the pattern gauge?
Um, I got gauge by going with a 5 mm needle.
Oh, okay. So you got
So
the
so,
pattern gauge.
yeah,
Okay.
but it is loose, maybe than what some people, I don't know if you can see, but I like it that way. I've been knitting my
You know
sweater.
what? It does not look loose like the fuzz and
Yeah, the fuzz
like
helps. Like I can see through it.
like I think mine is loose too because I feel like I can see through mine, but really when I hold it up it's not. I thought
It's
it was going to be a lot looser.
okay. Yeah, I can see it's, but I don't, I'm finding lately I've been knitting my sweaters a lot looser than what I used to. I
Well,
always used to like my sweaters nice and tight and solid. And now I'm like going totally the other way and I want them to be really drapey.
drapey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I never wanted you to be able to see through, like your bra or whatever when you just have it
Mhm.
on by itself. I did notice though that my knitting like in this section is looser looking
Okay.
where the rib is,
Right.
and
Right.
the top section before I split for the underarms, I think my gauge is slightly looser than I'm knitting now. Maybe because I'm just going around and around
Maybe.
and not having to think about increases or whatever. You get in a rhythm and I'm just tighter. But it's okay.
Oh, it looks good. And
I love yours. I like seriously want to go buy some of that yarn and make that sweater. I love the
I've
fuzz of it.
I know. I really, and normally that wouldn't be one that I would immediately go to, but Anne is so good at knowing exactly what I need. And I was looking at some yarn and she's like, how about this? And I was like, oh, and she's like, it has the look, that you've added mohair to it. It has
Yeah.
that halo. I don't
Yep.
know.
Oh yeah, you can
Right?
totally see it.
And it's wool. So it's what 50% wool, 49 acrylic. And I don't think it has any itch factor at all to it.
No.
Yeah, it's lovely. I'm loving it. So partway through, I was knitting this and I had my computer open and I was trying to go on her website to see, because I'm thinking, I think I just need one of every color.
Well, I'm like curious at what the other colors are because like I wouldn't do that blue because that's too I don't think it would suit me,
Hmm.
but you know, I'm sure there is a color that would.
And I don't know what other colors she had on the shelf because she picked it up and she's like, how about this? And I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. And like,
I love everything about it. I love the fuzz. I love the way it's striping. Like it's just, yeah, perfect.
so now, of course, the thing is right when you get to the sleeves again, will
Your
like,
stripes are going to be different.
but like you look up here in the yoke, I was doing it flat until I joined for the V-neck, so the stripes were a lot longer. And but I don't think you don't see that when you look at the hole, like you can't tell. Other than like the dark blue right up at the yoke is a lot thicker, but I mean you can't So I think I'm just going to start out doing the sleeves as is and just let them be and hope it'll just be fine.
I think it'll look fine.
Because that would be a lot of cutting and
Oh, yeah, no,
try
yeah.
to make that match.
I would
So
just go for it because you're going to have thicker and thinner stripes anyways.
yeah, I think it'll just be fine. And this and
Yeah,
both sleeves should match-ish, right? In the thickness, so it'll look like it's
yeah,
planned. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm not
absolutely.
gonna
I mean, the only other thing you could do is have two skeins of yarn on the go at once and you know
yeah,
what I mean? Just alternate every 3 or 4 rounds or something.
I could.
But I wouldn't even bother. I mean, if you were that worried about it, it
If
was
I was
would
that
be an
worried, or
option.
that's true. Or if I started it and really didn't like it, I
Yeah.
could do that. But I'm thinking I'm gonna like it just fine with the one. Just knit around and it'll be what it is.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Mark says, what brand is that yarn? It is called, hold on, Melange. So Little Red Mitten also carries this yarn, the Melange.
Oh,
And because I think that wasn't Nancy was telling me about this yarn. So it is, here's the ball band. So Melange is the yarn, and so there, and then the Garzato, I think that's the fuzzy version.
okay.
They have melange that's just regular, non-fuzzy. And it does say Aaron under there. And what is it? 200 grams, 700 meters.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot
Made
of,
in Italy.
I know.
You're gonna find her sound asleep on the floor.
She's lying here beside me.
Oh, is she? Oh, you're just looking to see if she's awake or not?
Yeah, I did. She's looking the other way. So she's kind of looking out the window. Just saw eyelids flutter. So she's not sleeping, but she's not moving. She's staring at something. Anyways, yeah, so that's I love it. You know, if you guys can find it somewhere. Now, Anne did comment on one of my posts on Instagram about this, and she said it's only available in store because she does have some online shopping, but and I couldn't find this on her website. So I don't know. You could always call her if you really wanted some and see if she could ship it or do something, or just, yeah, do a quick search for your local yarn shop and see if they carry it.
Yeah, Cindy says she saw it at the Mitten on Wednesday, but she doesn't remember the colors. Okay, Marianne, I'm not understanding your comment. I don't know if it auto-corrected or what. Something about vintage yarn, and your mom gave you almost
Oh,
something.
okay.
I don't think you meant to say free bushed sweat from late 80s, early 90s.
I'm thinking, is that like a sweater quantity of yarn from the
I don't know. Oh, it's a marled in light gray and white, super soft, worsted. Maybe when I get home, we'll post to see if anyone has any.
oh,
Oh, you're looking for a vintage yarn. Okay.
help finding vintage yarn. Okay, so not vintage as Barocco vintage, but so old yarn from the 80s and 90s.
It's vintage.
That is vintage. I know.
It is vintage.
It is vintage. I know. I just have to
Yeah,
accept
yeah,
it.
you have to show us the ball bands. Maybe somebody's got some hiding in some stash somewhere that they don't want to get rid of, but don't know what to do.
I know somebody will have some somewhere, right?
Yeah. Out like a light.
Arms up. Sleeping.
Yay. So she'll have a little half-hour snap her and then she'll jump up and be going crazy again.
Be ready to go. So that means I should knit. I'm just
Every spare moment, Louise has got a, oh, I can knit now.
well, I know. And I knew this would happen, right? Because I knew that's why I knit so much last weekend was because I knew this weekend I wouldn't have a whole lot of time to knit.
Well, and you're almost done the body. If I remember correctly, you talking about it last night that you were at 11 inches or something.
Yeah.
And that
It,
should almost do it.
it should. So I'm gonna go a few more inches, like I don't know, like maybe three. I don't know. I'll have to hold it up and kind of measure again for sure. Actually, I should try it on is what I should do. And I know because I was just so focused because I had figured out I needed to do 28 grams a day because I was just going by the pattern and it said, how much yarn it takes.
Did
So
it
by
not tell you 18 inches for the body? And when you measured that last night, that would go all the way past your bum, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's way
Mhm.
too long. You
Way too
probably
long.
only need about, 12.
Well, that's what
And then
I
you're ribbing.
well, see, there's no ribbing. That's
Oh,
the
right.
And that's because that's exactly what I thought last night because I have just been so focused because I did all the math and thinking to get the yardage that they said in the pattern, I needed to knit 28 grams a day, which was for me, that took 4 hours. And so I knew I was going to be on track. So I was on track up until when Scarlett arrived. And then I knew that would not happen over the weekend while she was here. And then I just was hoping that next week I'd be able to miraculously
Yeah.
find a few extra hours in my evening to knit
Yeah.
and it would all be good. And so I just been focused on thinking, okay, 28 grams, 28 grams. So I just knit and then I take this over to my scale and weigh it. And then I'm like, oh, at the end of the night, I'm like, perfect, I'm caught up. And then at some
Yeah.
point, I'm like, well, wait a second, maybe I should be measuring because at some point I need to do some ribbing. I was just like in like knit mode, just like go, go,
Yeah.
go. And so yesterday, I actually, because I kept holding it up and I thought, okay, it's not long enough yet. But see, I hadn't even read any farther in the pattern. I just read knit 18 inches. And and so I measured it and I'm like, what, 18? That's like 18 inches from the underarm. And so that's when
I,
I did that measuring last night before I chatted
yeah.
with Jocelyn. And then Jocelyn, the smart knitter that she is, she actually read the whole pattern. And she's like, Louise, there's no ribbing. Because that's what I
Yeah. So
thought.
I'm going to say 14 is probably going to come right about where you want it,
Yeah, 14,
mid
15
hip.
is where I'm wanted to.
Yeah.
So now though, okay, so for people who weren't watching us last night, this is a little interesting tidbit we were discussing. So the sweater talks about this as no finishing, which I should have known because it's a rolled edge along the V-neck. And then Jocelyn says there's a rolled cuff and there's a rolled hem.
Yeah.
So what does anybody do
To
because Jocelyn was
stop the
wondering,
rolling.
yeah, to stop the rolling so it doesn't just keep rolling and rolling and rolling up. So what she was going to do was just do knit to her 18 inches or just before that, do a few rounds of ribbing, then go back to stockinette so she'd get a little curl, but it would stop where the ribbing is.
Either that or some purl rows.
Well, that's what I said. I had only ever in the past just did a purl round. And I
Yeah,
find
I would do 2 or 3 purl rounds.
yeah, or maybe two or three because I found sometimes one round is enough, sometimes it's not enough.
Yeah, because it will on the purl round, it'll curl the opposite way, and then the knit rounds will just curl back up over
Mhm.
your purl round.
So that's a good idea. So what, and Jen confirmed last night because a few people were saying had some ideas, and Jen said she had knit a sweater that did, I think she said 4 rounds of ribbing, and then you did 4 or 5 more rounds of stockinette, and that gave you a nice little curl, but it didn't go too far.
Yeah.
So I was just curious what if anybody else had tried that or had any other ideas. So your idea of doing more than one round.
Yeah, I would do like 2 rounds, I think, just to give it that little bit of curl in the opposite way, and then it will just curl back around on itself.
Yeah. Let's see what everybody else. I always like getting other
Yeah.
people's ideas because everybody has such fun, has tried different things or knit different patterns that give you different ideas. So anyways, so let's see.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay, Marianne, back to her sweater or her yarn. So it's a partly finished sweater and there's no ball bands. So it's a bottom up sweater and she with a almost finished raglan bottom up. So there's not enough yarn to finish it is the problem. But she just said she could try some color work or something in the top that would work.
Yeah,
Or pull it back and add something in and do some stripes to extend your yarn. Might
so do you
work.
think, Marianne, is that why your mom just left it in the bag? Was that she knew she was running out of yarn and just put it in timeout?
So Wanda says she saw your yarn on Amazon.
Ooh, so
I
that's good.
was looking on Amazon. I want to try and find sock yarn on cones for my knitting machine. And I went and looked on Amazon for yarn, and it's all like it's more expensive on Amazon, believe it or not. Like Croy, that two balls of Croy, they want $20 for. That's $10 a ball, and you can buy it for $6.97 or whatever at Lens Mill. So
It's the
I'm like,
convenience.
that's nuts.
You're
Those
paying for the convenience.
shysters. Yeah.
To ship it to your door in one day.
True.
Little extra. Yeah.
I don't need to go buy any yarn. I still got another sweater quantity to do after this one, but I love that V-neck sweater. It just reminds me of like a sweatshirt you're just going to throw on when you need something.
Exactly. And that's what we thought when Vanessa mentioned it. And Jocelyn and I pulled it up on Ravelry, and it's just like, oh my goodness. It just has that look to it. So the name of the sweater again, I think I've actually have it down. Simple summer tweed top down V-neck. Finally got it stuck in my head. All those words in the right order.
Simple summer tweed V-neck,
Top down V-neck.
top down V-neck.
But it does give you an option for a round
A
neck.
crew.
Yeah, a crew neck. And it gives you sizing for men and women. And it's free. Which she should be charging. But anyways,
Yeah.
but it is a
Wonder
free
if I can knit it out of cotton. I have some cotton upstairs.
you could.
Don't know if I don't know if there's enough. There might be. There's like a lot of balls.
Well, you might want, I don't know, try
How
it.
many yards did you need for your sweater?
Hmm. Um,
Ish. You have
how
1400 in your two balls, so
1400, so it was probably 12 or 13.
okay. I probably have that much.
I always
I have at least a dozen 50-gram balls, so
hmm,
of
I always
course
figure 1200
the
for
yardage on cotton may be different because it's heavier.
might be. I always figure 1200 for a sweater for me. And this, yeah, I figured I had just a little more. I had extra, and I'm not even going to use that much now that I'm going to make it a little shorter.
Right. Right.
So I'll have some left.
Marianne says do a rib/pearl for a couple rounds. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So either or then.
I would just purl for a couple rounds and then do my
Well,
yeah.
maybe it'll be well. Okay, and maybe I'll just purl for a couple of rounds. Jocelyn's was going to do the ribbing, and
Oh, because I mean, you can always change it later if you don't like it. Just finish it. And then if you don't like how it is, then
pull
just
it
pull
out.
it back a bit.
It's only we're only talking this much, really.
Exactly. And you can still call it a done and then fix it later.
Well, exactly. This is a 2-week sweater knitting challenge. It's not a 2-week sweater that fits you and is finished in 2 weeks.
It's done. That's all that matters.
Done. Done is better than perfect. Yeah. And I think it'll be fine. It'll
Yeah.
be fine. Either way, it'll be good. So I'm just super happy. I love this. I am loving the pattern. I'm loving the yarn. I'm loving that it seems to be knitting so fast. Maybe it's because I'm a little more focused and haven't worked on one other thing. So I don't know what we're going to talk about Monday night, you guys, but
Oh well. I'm
yeah,
sure you'll find things to talk about.
we will find things to talk about. You guys will have to bring some talk about your knitting projects this week. I'll show my sweater one more time. We'll see how maybe I'll have body done. I don't know. Well,
I think you will.
yeah, I'm gonna have Sunday night to myself, so that'll be it'll either be grandma having a big long nap, or it will be me getting some knitting done. I don't know which one. It may be a little combination of the two. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy. So are you, how are you feeling for your sweater? So like
Oh, I don't know.
you're not trying to do the 2 weeks. You're trying to do
No, I'm on no mission whatsoever. I started a week before the first of the month, so I started mine in January, and I'm only at here, so
but that's
but
great
I
progress.
just do, I work on it when I want. So I do a little bit every day. I probably did like half of the body last night. So I did like, what is it,
Great.
8 or 10 rounds, I think, last night.
Mhm.
And I only knit like after dinner. So in the evening, that's my only knitting time. So, and it is also shared with stitching. So it depends what I am the most in
In the mood for?
the mood for, what I'm drawn to. Well, and then my problem is I start out knitting because I'm like, I got to do some knitting, work on my sweater. It's just round and round. So while I watch the news or whatever, and then at some point I put it down and pick up my stitching, and then I don't want to go to bed because I'm loving working on my stitching, but I have to show you my progress on my stitching because I can't stop working on it. I can't stop working on it. I'm obsessed.
Let's see it.
So I am working on so I only showed this last week, right?
Yeah,
Because
because
I started this a week ago Wednesday.
because you finished your other
Because
really pretty one.
Well, because I know that because on a week ago Wednesday, I went to Stitch at Central in London to get the floss
Oh
because I
yeah,
had started it in the DMC and I wasn't liking it. So I went and got the Valdani threads, the called for threads, and restarted it again last Wednesday. So
very
I'm
nice.
working on ink circles. It's called Dog's Declaration, and it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of squirrels. So you remember last week I had started in the middle and I had the dog done and
Yeah,
this flower and a few of these things around here. And I think I had UIT
yeah, yep.
squirrel. So unfortunately, excuse
Uh-oh.
me, I have moved the Q snap.
Oh, okay. Holy moly. Look at you
So my
go.
start was over here.
Oh my
I
goodness.
finished this thing right in here. So I wish that I could show it to you, but unfortunately I cannot.
That is incredible.
Um, I did not do the fill in this thing here.
That's right. You remembered, yeah, you said how it looked.
This right here.
Yeah.
I didn't like the yellow.
hmm hmm
I thought it took away from the letters. And of course that little bird. But I did finish that.
That's a lot of stitching.
And the fox and this and the dog and of course the flowers, and now you can see the rest of what I've done. And I did and the L at the top, and I am so excited.
That is coming along.
I may have to go get my stupid dog.
Oh, Mark says, wow, Cheryl, amazing progress. Absolutely.
I can't stop working on it because it's stunning, and that's not me. That's like, look at the variegation in those threads. And I'm doing this one thread over two on a 36 count linen. And if you look up close, you can see my you can see through my stitches, but I think it really adds to it. It kind of has a little bit of a vintagey antique feel, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Yeah, it
love it.
definitely, yeah, it looks fine. It gives it more of that variegated look, I think. That looks stunning.
I know. We'll see. Next week I'll have the Q snap will be moved again.
Well, yeah, for a big project like that.
So I think I'll move up next. So right now I'm doing this section right here. Right now I'm going to work on these birds. And then I think, and part of this thing, and then I think the next page is this whole corner. So I think that's what
Wow.
I'll move up to there next and then come across here and then down around this way.
You're off to a great start. Really good start.
It's not very often that I work on something and then put it aside and move to other things. And when I was working on with the needle too, I worked on it for quite a while. I have it about, I would say it's about 30% done, maybe. And I set it aside to work on the Christmas piece. And then my intention was to pick it back up again, but I wasn't feeling it. I really wanted to start this. I've had this kitted up for like over a year for sure.
And that's the big one that has the ship and like the
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
the bed on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you were getting close to being well,
I
like
was about, I think I'm about 30% done.
okay.
Yeah, not even close to a
Not
finish.
close
It's a
to it.
very
Okay.
long-term project.
I thought you were more like 75%.
No,
Okay.
no, because I'm only halfway. There's four of those blocks across the top, and I only have two of them done. And then I'm working my way on the bottom. So yeah, I'm not even not quite half done yet. But I started it last March or the beginning of April.
Hmm.
And I took it with me to Stitch North and worked on it exclusively while I was there. So yeah, I'll be taking it with me again probably.
Well, you should. That would be good. Then you can show progress. That could just be your Stitch North project till you get it done.
Yeah.
That's hard to
I
believe
do
that.
want to finish it this year though. I think I'll get back to it after I'm done this one. And this one's going fast. So
Yeah, you got so many good projects on the go.
yeah, I might actually, by the time, what's this, February? It could take me till April to finish it, but I doubt it.
I don't think so. Not the rate you're going.
No, I think I'm guessing if I keep going the way I'm going, it'll be like a 6 week project. So it'll be done
That's
before the
okay.
end of March. Oh, who is Spartan Huskies Knits podcast?
Alyssa,
Alyssa. See? Okay, so who's hooking and stitching island style?
that one I don't remember.
I see podcast names and then I forget the names. Sorry.
Mhm.
I have a terrible memory. Alyssa. Stitch North is a cross stitch retreat hosted by Caroline of Evertote, who used to be Fibre friend,
Hmm.
Fibre friend Caroline. She used to be part of this podcast. Uh, she hosts a stitching retreat in Brampton, Ontario now every fall or every spring. Sorry. I think this is the third year. So I went last year and it was like fantastic. So yeah, it's a
Good.
cross stitch retreat. Did I say all the juice? Feel like I missed something. But anyway,
Good. Oh, that's so fun.
Miss Caroline.
Mhm. Oh, so Mary Ann, I was just going through the comments here, and so Mary Ann's given me something else to think about. She said that when she's done that hem,
Oh, gone down a needle
Go
size.
down a needle size for, so I'm assuming you mean like after you've done your ribbing or you've done your few rounds of purling, then when you do the stockinette, you go down a needle size. Just so there won't be any like flaring or just like pulls it in a little bit. Hmm, that that is something to think about for sure. Do I have another needle? Do I have the next needle size down? That would be the question. But yeah, I could see doing that too. Because I always do that. Because somebody talked last night about just doing some garter stitch around the bottom. And I would always decrease some stitches and go and need a smaller needle size when going from stockinette to a garter stitch because the stitches are just bigger. But yeah, I can see that doing that on the bottom of this too. That's a good thing. I love this. I love all these little tips that people have done, and then you can just mix and match and pick whatever you think is going to work best for your project.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good.
Shared experiences.
Exactly. I love that. So, did everybody tell us before we wrap up what all they're working on and how their sweater progress is? Did everybody get that in the comments for everybody to cheer them on? And who's doing the 2-week sweater challenge? Who's trying to do the month-long challenge? So I should say that when Carol popped in Thursday, the 2 sweaters that she knit was a design that she had wrote up and it's using a really bulky yarn and I think a 12mm needle. So they do knit up quick, but she gave me a copy of her pattern. So
Nice.
maybe I will cast something like that on when I get this one finished. I'm sure I could find some yarn in my stash. So maybe get 2-week sweaters done.
I know what my next sweater is after this one, so I
With
have to do that. The colorwork sweater with that the
that,
eco. I showed it. The
yeah,
yarn.
yeah,
Is it Estelle? No, I
yes.
can't remember.
I think so. Estelle Eco,
Something.
yes.
It's a cotton wool blend. And
Yeah.
it's gorgeous and I love it. Oh, I heard that, Marianne, that there's going to be a retreat in Manitoba.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Shirley
Yeah,
posted.
so exciting.
So are you going, Marianne? Does she say if she's going?
I'm guessing she is if she's excited about it. Heck
Then
yeah,
yeah,
right?
that is fun.
That's a good excuse to get your sister on a plane to come visit you.
It is, isn't it? That would be fun. Yeah, you gotta have something to look forward to, especially when the end of winter is here. You need something to look forward to when the nice weather comes.
Thank you, Trish. Eco Harmony Worsted, because she bought the same yarn.
Perfect.
Yeah. I have to talk to Miss Dawn too to see if she's going to come to the Crankin in May. May? May. Yeah. There's a Crankin local.
Is there?
Yeah, in Ingersoll.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
going. I don't know anybody other than one person there, so but I'm going.
oh, well, I know. Well, why not? What a perfect way to
Yeah.
go. Sometimes it's nice when you go without somebody else because then it kind of forces you to go chat with other people that you maybe wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, I've never been to one before. I have no idea of anything. Don't know what to bring other than obviously my table and my knitting machine
Yeah,
and some yarn. But hopefully I'll learn some things and
that's really exciting.
yeah. Oh, Catherine says we need a Fibre Friends retreat.
We do. We do. Maybe we'll work on that.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
I know. I keep thinking, and I actually have looked at places in the past. I've looked at rooms and locations. So something we could do. We'll think on that. All right, I'm gonna measure again. Do you think I'm much farther than I was last night? I don't know. Probably not much. But ooh, I am. I'm just over 12 inches now.
Morning.
Okay, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm just looking forward. I'm hoping I'll have a little bit of time here now. And maybe again this afternoon I can get a few more rounds done. So
Oh, hey, Jude.
back to some serious sweater knitting Sunday night.
Yeah, for sure. Cindy says, I don't know why, but I saw pink yarn from across the room and I was like, I need that. I don't usually buy pink for a sweater. Juniper moon in bubble gum. Ooh, that sounds exciting.
You know,
Jude forgot it was Saturday.
oh no.
Are you yesing, Marianne, to Dawn coming out? I'm
Yes,
guessing.
yes, Dawn coming out, a knitting retreat, a weekend away. I know, super fun. I know sometimes I'm getting more in a pink mood this last
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's so exciting. I
You're
went
are you,
out to Winnipeg. I do have friends out there, or friends. I don't have friends out there. Well, other than
they're
Marianne.
friends.
I have family out there. When we were young, my uncle, excuse me, my uncle, him and his wife and their three kids, they moved out there. I think he got a job or something out there, and they all moved out west. We were all really young. So they've been out there ever since. So I have my cousins are out there. And I went out probably, boy, time goes by really fast. And I want to say it was about 5 years ago I went with my uncle here. Him and I flew out to visit, and it was so fun because I'd never been out before. Well, that's a lie. My sister and I drove out when I was very early pregnant with my son. So that was 30 years ago.
Make you're due to go back.
Yeah. Won't be hard to twist Dawn's arm. Yeah, for sure.
No, absolutely not. That'll be fun. What a perfect way for the two of you to get together again. Nice weekend away. So fun. I know. I love all these things. And we've got what our first Fibre show is in March. So still a little ways away, but not really. Like we're getting, well, actually, it's not that far now, is it?
Like
Is it
not even a month. I forget what the date is.
is it a month or is it like 5 weeks? That's
Yeah, I don't know. It's February. It's in March. It's
it's
next month.
March, like March 20, but isn't it
It's
like
coming soon.
24th?
24th, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
stunning.
definitely going this year because I haven't been to it yet. So
Mhm.
that's the Hamilton Fiber Forge.
Yeah.
So
And there's something just about the fact that it's the first one of the year. Like it's something
yeah,
just want to get to that, right? And
yeah.
um yeah, so that's actually not very far away at all.
No, I'm kind of excited for the spring. It feels like there's lots of things happening.
Yeah. Just got to get through
So
February.
yeah, exactly. At least we've had some sun this week because I was starting to get, I don't usually get like, the seasonal blues or whatever, but this year really has, I've struggled to have like motivation and I just, I don't feel like doing anything like work wise. I have, you know,
That's you're
I
not the
I have ideas, but I have just no will to like follow through with anything. And it's just like, ugh, every day I get up and it's like, yeah.
I know, and I mean, there's definitely truth to that. I know a lot of people are feeling that way. Yeah, I'm just so glad the sun is out because I was starting to feel that way too. It was just the winter blues,
Yeah.
right? Is a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
How
I'm
about you?
happy that we've had some sun. It's been nice the last few days. I feel a little bit energized.
Good.
Oh
That's how
yeah,
you.
Cindy, I'm with you. All cities are too big for me.
Oh,
Sometimes my little town of, 6,800 people is too much for me.
there's something to be said for living in the country. I definitely agree.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, all right. So next week, if all goes according to plan, this should be finished.
You have a great rest of your vacation, Marianne.
Yes. Enjoy. Anita is somewhere in the sunny south as well right now. That's why I have Scarlett. So
Oh, nice.
she was messaging me for like, you know, first time away for like, well, I think she's only
Any
been,
length of time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, so I keep getting messages. She's like, how is she? Send me a picture. So anyways, and she looks so sweet just lying here, just passed out on the couch.
Yeah, they do. That's what keeps us coming back.
I, I know.
It's like, go to sleep. Oh, well, that's good, June, that you're coming to the end of your down to ceiling drama.
Oh, that,
That
yeah,
would
that
suck.
sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Well,
Oh, I'm gonna have to go find ball too. That thought did occur to me of where did I put the second ball?
you still have lots left of that first ball.
I know there's still lots here, but there's also a lot gone. Like it's really starting
Oh,
to,
yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's going far.
it is. Oh, it is. I know. I'm
Oh,
telling you guys, I love this stuff.
really, I'm only on my third ball,
Oh, so yours is you're getting
like
good yardage out of
the
yours.
third 50-gram ball. So I'm getting pretty good yardage out of
Yeah.
this thing. I
I'm
probably will have enough for like a hat or something.
that would be fun. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
wouldn't wear them together, but yeah.
I know. I think I might actually just go take a look on Little Red Mitten's website and see what they have got for this yarn and colorways. I haven't been down there. I haven't been in the store. Oh, I don't think I've been down there since after Christmas. That's
Little
been
Red Mitten.
yeah, that's been a whole what, like 6 weeks.
I have never been since Jolene's owned it.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
I'm
I
thinking,
went one time before that.
yeah, well, I guess it's just far enough away from you that it's
It's
not,
over an hour for me.
yeah, so it's not a local really shop
Yeah.
to you. But
I
yeah, I
could
need to go down there soonish.
I could be convinced to go. No, I'm not gonna. I don't need to buy anything.
Well, no, we gotta wait. We've got the Fibre Festival coming up in March. Just wait for
I,
that.
I need to find yarn to make the sweater you're making because I like it.
It is fun.
I
It's
think
very,
it'd be a perfect spring just throw on for a little extra warmth.
it would be a perfect camping sweater,
Yes.
right? Your early camping, your like late fall camping, or
Yeah.
just, when you're out fishing.
V-neck, not overly warm.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
one's going to be a warm cuddle up sweater.
yeah, yeah. I like that. Warm cuddle up sweater. You need
I
sweaters
can
for
see it already done. Look, can you picture me wearing it?
can. I know, look at that. I know. See, really, we could almost look like
We
we
could
have
pretend. Set. Yeah, look, see, we're done.
we're done. I know, just feel like we're done.
That's all you can see. I only have to knit my sweater down to the chest.
Crop
short
tops
sleeve.
are in, Cheryl. Crop tops are in. It can be done
Yeah,
whenever you
not in my world, they're not.
can.
All right, we should say goodbye because we're rambling.
Yeah, we're just, yeah. All right. Well, thanks guys for joining in.
And
And
anybody who's left listening to our shenanigans.
yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. Have a great weekend. Happy sweater knitting, everybody. And
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
we'll talk Monday night. We'll talk about sock madness.
Oh
We
no,
we
I'm
can
not coming then.
it's exciting. It's exciting. Okay.
It's madness, I tell you. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week.
We will be back with I'm hoping to have it finished or really, really super, super, super duper close to a finish. So
Maybe I'll have my body done.
that's a good goal. Just knit round and round and round. Well,
Yeah.
then get ribbon. But anyways. All right, everybody. Happy sweater knitting. We will see you all next weekend.